Greetings, Palaxians. Today on the bounty board, we're slurping up every single strand of Victor Timely spaghetti, talking about some serious personality displacement in Rick and Morty's interdimensional family, and confessing our secret childhood nightmares. So kick up that warp drive and let's punch it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Guardians of the Palaxy podcast. My name is MT, and I'm here with my beautiful friends, Tommy and Whitney. What's going on, gang?
Nothing much. We're doing good. We're being sweet.
Don't talk for me. Don't speak on my behalf.
Don't you dare. I'm not being sweet, I'm being sour.
Things have never been worse over here. No, I'm good.
Okay.
Hey,
The economy's out of control. I'm poor
Yeah,
constantly.
Tommy is out of control this Saturday noon.
Sorry, guys. I ran for Speaker of the House and I lost. So I've been really
too,
down.
Tommy?
Yeah.
My God.
You as well?
I figured I'd throw my hat in the ring. Everybody else was getting involved. So I thought, why not?
Did you lose because you did a Dean scream? Let's be honest.
I did. I went.
Let's be honest with ourselves.
Oh my God, we're off the rails already, you guys. I think
Yes.
here's the problem. I've been craving Olive Garden ever since the end of Loki episode 4.
Oh God, so have I.
Never-ending
Oh,
pasta.
we gotta go get that unlimited spaghetti dish, baby.
Put that parm on there.
Unlimited.
Say when on that parm.
I want Parmesan on Victor Timely.
Yes.
No, people have been calling Victor Timely he who low mains.
Oh my
that
God.
That is so
good. That is so good. Oh my God, that's perfect.
So obviously, spoilers ahead if you haven't seen episode 4. Obviously, if you're watching the Palaxy, we're going to talk about what's hot and what's fresh. So this episode, obviously, insanity. What's our early reactions? What's our knee-jerk reactions to this?
Okay, first knee-jerk reaction, just gotta say, he was a weirder, littler guy for me this week. The hot chocolate scene, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. That is exactly what I'm talking about. When Mobius is just like, yeah, this very serious conversation that we're having, and he's like, did you just say hot chocolate machine?
Yeah.
Oh girl, take me to get some. And I was just like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted from him. I just wanted him to be weird as hell. That was weird. I loved it. That was my favorite part of the episode.
I agree. Yeah. I was excited for you to get to see him be weird about hot chocolate. I knew that would satisfy your weird little guy cravings. But
it really did. It was so perfect. I loved it. I loved it. It was I am satisfied now.
I think for me, I'm worried about my boy Mobius. I mean, I'm worried about everyone now, but man, Mobius has just been, he's really been through it this year. I feel like he's been emotionally available for everyone, but maybe the person that he needs to be available for is the person in the mirror.
I agree with that. I think that he needs to heal the little jet skier inside first.
Put on your own jet ski before you can put your jet ski on others. It's like the
put on your own wetsuit before you help everyone else put their wetsuits on.
Right. Like you can really tell that Mobius really truly enjoys being on Earth and like just being amongst other humans, because like he's just always like trying new things, like eating various pies and hopping on a 2-seated bicycle. It's like, hey, like being on Earth is great. Like I just love like goofing around.
Yes.
But like it's just so sad that he just won't allow himself to see what his life would be like as a free person. He's like constantly in work mode. I'm like, come on, Mobius, think about you.
I'm scared that he was truly evil in his sacred timeline self or something like that. They're gonna find out,
and that's like why he like subconsciously is just like, don't do that again, bro. You were not nice. You were good.
I worked so hard to be this delightful version of John Mobius. Why do I have to go back? By the way, I'm gonna make this official. If I go to a Target and the John Mobius action figure is available again, I'm buying it. I have like a little secret side collection. I don't collect a lot of action figures anymore. I did collect all of the Black Panther collection that came out recently from Marvel Legends because I wanted to build the Atuma figure with my nephew.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the Tuma and I have the same managers. I just want to let everyone know how talented I am in this
word?
town. Tuma and I have the same.
Hot Hollywood secret, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God.
I hate to spread that rumor that is true. But I wanted to make his figure in case I ever met him, so I could be like, I made your action figure, which would have been such a cool story that he would have gone like, okay, cool, man. But anyway, in that line of figurines is an Everett K. Ross figure. It's like you get an Okoye figure, awesome. You get 2 different Black Panther variations. You get a Namor, like you get there's like an old comic book, because they always kind of in the Marvel Legends they sneak a few kind of like dog shit ones in there to make you, but like they're like we have the molds, let's do this one. There's an Everett K. Ross one, and it's just, I mean, it's a pretty good sculpt of Martin Freeman. Like, it's just so lame though. He's in a business. He's in a suit.
An Everett Ross action figure.
He's in a suit. But the John Mobius one, he's in a suit too. I'm like, that's it. I'm getting the Mobius one, and I'm gonna have him and Everett K. Ross kissing on my desk.
Yeah, please. Now, kid. Just little tiny kid.
It's just a little peck. No big deal.
I like the idea of only collecting guys in regular suits as action figures.
I love it.
Like, no more superhero suits for you, Tommy. That was your last round. That was your last round, and now you can only buy guys in regular suits.
I'm gonna buy those guys, and I'm gonna buy the Katie Shang-Chi action figure, the Aquafina figure.
Yes.
Those are my 2 rules. So back to Loki. We get episode 3 ends on that cliffhanger of Miss Minutes saying like, I know something that's gonna really make you mad to Renslayer, and then the reveal. I think we kind of talked about this offline. It's something that I think from the comics and from where the show had already teased, we kind of knew, right? Like Renslayer and Kang were originally lovers, or at least partners.
When you say we talked about this offline, I think what you mean is I texted you guys like a 19-paragraph thing and no one responded until today.
Yes.
So
yes. So you talked about it offline. We read it.
I talked about it. You guys read it this morning, hours after I had sent it,
I gotta respond.
and I was thinking about it alone all night. Well,
here's the other thing though too. Not to pull the curtain back on podcasting too much, but a lot of the discussion we got to keep fresh and try and say for the first time. So when you drop little casseroles of goodness,
I'm so sorry.
We're like, yeah, Whitney, we're gonna have you talk. We're gonna make you talk about that on the Palaxy with our fans.
Talk about it, but in front of people instead of just info dumping on us at 9:30 p.m.
But I mean, also you keep the info dumping. I don't want to lose that element of our friendship, but just understand that if you only see one set of text messages, it's because I'm going to carry you on Saturday during the Palaxy and force you to talk about it.
I love you, and I love that about you, and I love that about us.
And it's not because I'm drunk and not responding, okay? It's definitely not that.
It's not because I accidentally fell asleep after I told you I was going to come over. It's not that. I did that to Tommy last Saturday, you guys. I'm really sorry. Last Saturday, Tommy and I were going to hang out after the podcast, and then I took a nap, and I never woke up. Yeah. And I had to text him at 9 p.m. and
honestly,
be like,
it do be like that.
Listen,
it do be like that.
That's what happens when we give so much energy on the Palaxy that sometimes you're just not gonna. You're just tuckered out, and you're not gonna be able to.
Sometimes you get tuckered.
Yeah, you get tuckered, and you're not gonna make it out to. You're not gonna make it out to Saturday night activities. But this Saturday night, we are gonna make it out. And we're getting out there.
We're making it.
We're going to Long Beach, and we're going to Anaheim, and we're going to Burbank. This episode is sponsored by Dean Scream.
Yes, we're gonna get Howard Dean elected one of these days. One of these days.
That poor guy. You know
Justice for Howard Dean.
I don't know if it's a that poor guy situation or anyone who doesn't have to be president or an elected official is actually better off because they get to keep their soul. We're talking Loki here, guys. We're talking Loki.
Yeah.
We're not talking politics. So Renslayer and Miss Minutes, we get kind of the backstory. Miss Minutes. Good God. I mean, what can we say about the woman who has it all?
Listen, I will not allow any Miss Minute slander. She was just having a good time watching everyone come together. Okay.
That's right.
Like what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. That's like, she just wanted to see everyone just hold each other and just be
right
one singular
now.
being. Come
Getting
on, man.
squished.
Loki, I like it. There will be no Miss Minutes slander from over here. There will only be Miss Minutes.
I'm
I
not
will not take
slandering,
it.
but she's an actual serial killer. I'm not slandering. I'm just saying she has a significant body count. Like she is a serial killer. She has murdered a bunch of people.
But everyone has their flaws, and I think that we should move past those flaws, especially considering that Miss Minutes might have died? Question mark.
Yeah.
She did. I don't know.
No, she's just
She
rebooting.
did. No, I think she's just rebooting. Yeah.
She'll be all right.
She'll be back.
I mean, really, everyone might be dead.
Yeah, it's also possible that they all died in a fiery explosion, and that the next 2 episodes are just going to be 30 minutes of darkness, and we all have to watch in reverent silence.
Oh my god, hilarious!
As we mourn.
That would be
we mourn all of those characters.
That would be so funny if it was
what a ballsy move by
if
Marvel
they just
Studios.
did the Marvel whatever Marvel lead-in screen, and then it just was complete silence, just a void, just like devoid of all sound and light. Oh my god.
Okay, so that's like episode 5, right? Is just the devoid of sound. It's gonna be just like 30 minutes of silence, but then the last episode is gonna be Sarah McLachlan in the arms of the angels, while black and white photos with slow fades of each character that we love just kind of passes by.
It's either that or the really like kind of when you become an adult and reread it, like creepy C.S. Lewis Aslan creating the world God thing, where he's like a lion in total darkness, and then he just starts singing and the world starts appearing. Like, I don't know if you ever read, like, he's literally just like, and then like trees are growing. It's like, but it's a lion. Chronicles of Narnia.
It's been a while since I've read those books.
Chronicles of Narnia are beautiful books. I love them. I think they're like, they're like any of those books that kind of have sophisticated, complicated relationships with death and dying and family for kids that can be read by children, I think are important. Whether or not you embrace C.S. Lewis's overarching Christian themes is up to you. I think you can still enjoy the books. That said, if Loki sings the world back to life in episode 6, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Me either. I would love
that. I could see it. I could see it happening. Loki is Tom Hiddleston is a very musical dude. He can dance like a motherfucker. That dude is he can cut a rug, man. That dude knows how to dance.
That's right.
A whole musical number, I would appreciate.
Well,
that'd be great.
Speaking of artistic talents, we've got Bradley Wolf, movie star, turning on his mommy. I don't really know what do we think is going on there with that?
That was a weird relationship.
I mean, they cubed
that
her
was messed up though, dog. That was messed up. And then the fact that they the scariest part that I thought was really smart of them to do was that they didn't show us the aftermath.
No.
They just showed the horror of on
B15's face when she's like, "There's goo everywhere."
Everywhere.
Check, please.
Who's going to be assigned to clean that up? Like, knowing that like the TVA is like this like fake institution, like who's gonna get the responsibility of like, all right,
who's the janitor at the TVA?
Right.
Is he still alive? Is that guy still there?
It's probably Casey. Wasn't Casey like buffing the floor in one of the scenes earlier?
Was
True.
he?
Oh my god! I hope
you
it's
cannot
not
make Casey clean up his squished coworkers.
You know what? I'm glad everyone died in a horrible blast.
Yeah, because then now they don't have to clean anything because they all died in a horrible blast.
That was crazy. I mean, we were teased with that torture box in episode 2 during Brad's interrogation, right? That was trying to remember my timelines, but you knew it's Chekhov's torture cube. I mean, if once you see it, someone's gonna get squished.
Chekhov's torture cube.
It had to come into actual fruition. And boy, oh boy, as you said, Whitney, I think that's right on. It was the fact that they made us hear it and see other people's faces. You see Brad not wanting to look. You see Miss Minutes getting only more excited about it, and you see Renslayer being like you really had all three of the like levels of feeling over it. Like Renslayer was like, this was a business decision and I don't feel great about it, but I'm doing it. Brad was like, I have sold out people that I at some point cared very much about.
And now they are getting squished.
Right. And Miss Minutes was like, I get to use my cube. I'm so excited.
I've always wanted to do this. This is great.
This is why I designed this cube.
If I can't have a body, nobody can have a body.
But yeah, man, like that scene was probably one of the more darker scenes in the MCU.
Yeah, and the Foley, the fact that they made us hear the squishing a little bit was there was a little bit. I mean, like let's get into it. The timely, the he who lo mains, as you so eloquently put, man, the fact that he is muscle, blood, and bone when he spaghettifies, it's like, oy, oy, oy. Holy
okay, but I think I would rather get turned into unlimited pasta than get squished in Miss Minutes torture cube. I think spaghetti is the way to die in this situation. Like, if you had to choose, spaghetti is like, that's like sweet
like
death.
Instant death.
Yeah,
you're fine.
I definitely agree. But it seemed, it was instant ramen for sure. He was gone.
Instant ramen.
That was great.
R.I.P.
Vic, we hardly knew you, baby. So there was a couple of other scenes.
Victor, we hardly knew her.
Oh. and I will say they've cleaned up a casting loose end there with Victor Timely's demise. We'll see if we get more Kangs. I think we must. I mean, there's supposedly Jonathan Majors did 3 episodes, so that would be 2. I think obviously we're going to get Jonathan Majors in 5 or 6 as another Kang, but we'll see. They definitely gave themselves an out if things don't go right in the real world. So, but we shall see.
But then there's also the ending of Quantumania where it's like, but what about all those guys?
Right. For sure.
It works for like Victor Timely for sure. If they need to write Victor Timely off. But Victor Timely has 1 billion twins.
Right.
There's 1 million of them. There's so many.
He has 1 billion twins.
He has so many twins. Which I think after one twin, then they're not called twins anymore. He has.
I don't care, Tommy. I literally don't care.
Like if it's because like triplets are triplets.
Yeah.
Wait, triplets aren't twins?
No,
they're triplets.
Twins is 2.
Yeah, twins is just 2.
By definition.
It's just Mary Kate and Ashley. You can't.
I mean, like, I guess that makes I know that like logically that makes sense, but like my brain just like I don't know, like my brain's just like twins are just like cloned people, I guess.
I'm glad
I guess that makes sense.
I'm glad that we're clearing up the great twin debate here on the Palaxy today.
Yeah, the great twin mystery.
I'm always trying to clear up twin mysteries on this show, but you guys are frequently like, no, we have to talk about Loki. We've got to talk about the DCU. We've got to talk about Ahsoka. And I'm like, no. Twin debate.
We gotta talk about twins, man.
And twins.
Loki and Sylvie are fraternal twins.
That's true, and they have a little bit of. I think we finally get some reminders about putting some respect on Loki's name in this episode. Like we are gods.
Goddamn respect.
Yeah,
they're gods.
Like I really enjoy that we are seeing more of like Loki's godhood on display this season. Because like the first season was more like, all right, I'm depowered and like I'm in this super weird world that is like overwhelming me, and this season's like, all right, now like I've gotten used to like the scope of like the multiverse, so like now I can comfortably be more confident in my like badassery. So like it's good seeing that more like that cool like intimidating Loki this season.
I like the reminder that I still think that he has been so altruistic this season. I'm like, come on, Loki's got a Loki by the end of this thing and be like, just
you
kidding.
Gotta look out.
Just kidding. I'm a stinker. I'm taking over the TVA. Although now, perhaps this is his opening. Maybe he knew this all was. Maybe that's why he didn't put up more of a fight for when Victor Timely went outside in that suit. He's like, yeah, let him go. I'm a literal god. I could go out there and probably last forever.
The fact that they let Victor Timely do that, it was just so ridiculous because like they just turned off the magic dampeners,
right.
So you got Loki and Sylvie at like god mode
who
powers
have magic now. That was actually
like,
that part I laughed so hard when they were both like, turn it off. Like, this is what we wanted this whole time, you fucking idiots.
And like, what's it called? It very much reminded me of like in Endgame when Thor was like, all right, I'll just snap. And they were like, no, Thor, like you got too much cheese whiz in your vein. Like, no. Let Thor snap, and whatever happens, happens. Like, he's the most qualified to snap.
Yeah.
Let this man snap.
Yeah.
It just felt like very much that. I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, why are you letting the human do
I know.
the job of a god?
I know.
Come on, man.
Come
Your
on,
one
man.
job. Your one job.
You had one job.
Yeah, and they've got like multiple gods too. It's like, use one of them.
Yeah.
Come
Right?
on.
Come
You got a
on.
couple there. Why
Use
are you sending
one
the
god.
one human?
They got Loki, they got Sylvie, they got OB, who is also a god.
Yeah.
A god of
I agree. He's a
kindness.
god. He is definitely a god. 100%.
Yeah. Or he's a king.
I honestly, yo. Okay, now that episode 4 is out, I have this weird theory about like, I mean, I talked about it before about like the Mr. Griffin thing, but like, I honestly think that Mr. Griffin will end up being part Victor Timely, part OB, and also part Casey.
Ooh.
Because like those three working together
Oh.
was just like a
Yeah.
really interesting dynamic. And like another reason why I say this, and this is very, very weird, and I admit this is like weird reasoning, but like on OB's shirt or like his uniform, he has 3 gears like that work together, like they're like a single 3 gears. So I'm just like, I think that this is like foreshadowing for like them, all those 3 people working together to become one new being that will end up becoming Mr. Griffin through weird temporal aura mixing, probably because of this Big Bang. Who knows?
The temporal mashups that you theorized last week that I'm excited for. Sorcerer
Infinity
Supreme.
Warps, let's go.
Infinity Warps.
Yes, Soldier Supreme, the Arachnite.
Yeah.
Let's go. I want all those people, man.
I've got to go get tested for Infinity Warts this week, and it's not. I'm very scared. I'm very nervous. I slept with a Nexus being, and we didn't use any. We didn't use our,
without checking their sexual history.
We didn't use our protective suits, and the temporal loom I think has led to my.
It had a crack in it.
It's got.
No one could interfere. It was a canon event.
That's true. It was. It sure was a canon event.
It was supposed to happen.
It was supposed to happen. I don't know what to tell you. Can't interfere with that.
No. And you know what? Worth it all. Any other last thoughts on the old Loki?
Like, what do you guys think is going to happen next? Like, where do we move on from here?
Yeah, I mean, aside from the
episode of Darkness.
Yeah, I think we have
episode of Darkness is blackness.
No, I think I got to remember where things have been talked about, but I believe on this show we've talked about the idea that like episode 5 is probably going to be pretty Loki centric, right? We still have so much there's still some time slipping scenes from the trailer we haven't talked about. We know he's going to end up in front of Rocksmart. He's going to end up in front of the jet ski store. So obviously I think the episode 5, the return of time slipping Loki, is going to, I imagine we're going to see that right before this explosion, the wave of energy washed over them, Loki time slipped out. And it's probably going to now be him slipping through time trying to prevent this event from happening, which will ultimately lead to, as we saw, as he saved himself by pruning himself earlier, he'll probably save himself and others. Although maybe that will be the choice. He can choose between saving himself or saving others, or both, and he chooses himself. But I think episode 5 we're gonna be slip sliding away. Time slip sliding is my prediction.
Slipping, slapping, and sliding. Right. Yeah, I honestly think that we're gonna get a little taste of Rick and Morty season 6, episode 1, with the whole they all get sent back to their own realities and they have to find each other again.
Oh yeah.
And I think that might be really cool, is having to, because you know how like that was what happened there, where like Rick was like, oh shit, we're all gonna get sent back to our own homes and I have to like figure out a way. And like the central finite curve was all fucked up at the time. There was like that rift in it from evil Morty. This was like pre-dinosaur fix. It was so cool to like see them all have to like fight through their original worlds and like deal with like all of that. So I think that's what the next episode of Loki is going to be. It's just going to be season 6, episode 1 of Rick and Morty.
I think it should be animated.
That'd be really fun.
It should definitely be animated.
I would not mind if they like made it like a pseudo what if episode where like Loki's just like what ifing about visiting different universes. That'd be so fun.
Speaking of, was that what if? Did you guys see the what if on the internet this week? That was what if Spider-Man and Scarlet Witch were siblings.
Oh yeah, isn't that like one of the titles in the next episode?
Yeah, is it? I don't know. Did they leak that? I don't know. I saw some of the concept.
I don't know if that's true. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Don't take my word for it.
I hope it is.
I saw that on the internet as well. Like that'd be really fun. I hope they do that episode.
Yeah, me
that'd
too.
be so much fun.
That would be sick.
What If is probably one of my favorite shows that they.
I was surprised. I mean, I liked the What If comics when I was younger, and one of my prized possessions is I have the copy of the first What If, which is what if Spider-Man was in the Fantastic Four, which actually happened after that.
But yeah, no, I think that the next episode will definitely have some time slipping, like Tommy said. But I think that it'll probably be because of the time stone that Loki picked up at the end, like in the middle of season 1, when he was like hanging out with Casey and he saw all those Infinity Stones in his desk. I think that he still has that, and like that will probably factor into the reason why he was time slipping at the beginning of the season and now. So like I think that'd be really fun to like bring that back. It's like, hey, you guys might have forgotten about this. This is the time stone. But I also think
there's
it'd be
a
fun
little time
to, like,
stone. It's in his pocket. It's been in his pocket the whole time.
This entire time.
Wow.
Is that a
But,
time
like-
stone in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
I get asked that at least twice a day. Just kidding. That's not true. That's disgusting. But no.
That's
I think
disgusting. Whoa, sorry, Burrow.
Whoa.
Sorry, I didn't mean to disgust you.
I'm just kidding.
Please don't kink shame yourself in front of me.
Yeah.
But I think it would also be really fun to see Loki hop through the timeline and just like see, you know, everybody living their life, like all the TVA agents living their various lives on different timelines. So like, you know, B-15 do whatever she's doing, Mobius jet skiing about, and I want to see Sylvie's life on Asgard before she was taken, because like that her whole past was very mysterious.
Yeah.
And she seemed pretty happy. So I'm like, what was that like? You know? So yeah.
I like it.
I want to see little Sylvie again.
Sylvie Jr., little baby Sylvie.
Little baby
but
one.
yeah, like we got some fake ads. What we going on?
Yeah, bro, we got some fake ads today. So here's what we're gonna do. So Brett kind of came up with this idea. He's the true mastermind. He's a D&D boy. Right here I have a D20. We have a table of potential ads. The first little column is like descriptors. The second little column is going to be nouns. So I'm going to roll this D20, and whatever it lands on is the fake ad that we have to do today. Okay. So let's roll these bones.
Roll these bones. Roll these bones.
Okay, so that's 11. 11 on our table is not a grift.
Ooh.
And let's roll it a second time. 10. So 11 and 10. So we have not a grift VR.
Not a grift VR.
Today we're doing a fake ad for not a grift VR.
Okay. Do you want to be your own boss? Are you tired of answering to other people? Do you want to, in just seconds a month, make enough money to retire happily? Well, get out of your reality and go to a virtual reality. It's a very simple plan. All you do is you get into virtual reality, and then you get 2 friends to get into virtual reality, and then they can be their own bosses, and then they get 2 friends into be virtual reality, and from there, you've created a structure of reality so sound.
Wow.
It's all angles of the same degree. It's indestructible.
Tommy is actually wearing one of our virtual reality glasses right now.
I am. Wow, I'm back.
It might look like his actual real reality. That's the power of the virtual headset. It mirrors your reality, so you get a brighter, clearer image, but it's all virtual. It may just look like regular glasses, but trust me, it's actual virtual reality.
Listen, you can't do VR alone. You want to get 4 to 5 of your closest friends, most likely from high school or your sorority, to join you in on this.
Right,
You're going to have to host VR parties. You're going to have to do those little parties where everyone comes and you can't leave the house without buying a gift.
That's
or you get
right.
executed.
Are you still on Facebook? Are you still on Facebook? We're going to bully you in the messages. And we've got a real deal for our listeners today. Use code SCAM30 for 30% off your initial starter pack. And it comes, if you order now, with a special placard that can go in your virtual office that says, "Da Boss." which lets everyone
Yeah.
know who's in charge. Go ahead and hit us up at Not a Grift VR. VRmultilevelmarketing.com and help get this show Guardians of the Palaxy get made. Remember, the best reality is virtual.
All right.
Perfect. I love
Also,
it.
invest in Amway. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, hell yeah. Any whoozle.
Sell Mary Kay.
Yes.
LuLaRoe. Let's go.
Mary Kay. That's a throwback.
Speaking of virtual realities, you guys, it's time to talk Rick and Morty. And I'm bringing up the virtual reality situation because after this past episode, the Juricki trap, I realized it. Oh my God, it's my new favorite. Like, no joke. Like, I really, this is like my absolute new favorite episode. I laughed so hard. It felt like an OG, like Rick and Morty episode. Like, it felt like an old adventure. It felt like we were going back to the basics we love so much. It was great. But after this episode with Rick and Jerry exploding their brains and then getting their brain matter mixed and matched by the garage AI and put back in each other's heads, I was just like, wait, holy shit. Everyone in this version of like the Smith-Sanchez family has like left part of themselves behind somewhere except for Summer. And it's kind of intense. So we have Morty, who last season in the Die Hard episode, he accidentally left part of his consciousness inside the Roy machine. And the Roy machine was like mysteriously moved to storage. And we don't know who like paid for it to be left on so that his consciousness could still be alive within the machine. And then there's Rick and Jerry, who we know at the very least, we know that 30-year-old Rick is possibly still in Jerry's head. They didn't really say if they got him out after the epilogue or anything, but during the epilogue, he's still in Jerry's head trying to find a way to escape. Then we have Space Beth and Clone Beth, and they're kind of, it's not the same thing necessarily where one of them is stuck inside the other, but it is still that like whole mystery of like which one is which and who is who's the original, who's not. And then Summer's the only one who hasn't like left like pieces of her own mind and memory somewhere else.
That we know of.
So I wonder
she was on that
we know of.
She was on that party planet for a while.
She was on that party planet for a while.
God knows what part. We said I refuse to believe there's not some blood and fluids on that planet, but
but no, that's a really good point. I wonder if like by the end of this season, like we'll have like a weird Summer incident where like she does leave a piece of herself behind somewhere else.
Because
so interesting.
what I'm wondering is them like leaving parts of themselves places, even if it's like parts of themselves that aren't necessarily like the strongest. Because like, for example, right, like 30-year-old Rick in Jerry's brain, 30-year-old Rick is basically just the amalgamation of Rick's paranoia. Like that's, you know, like in the beginning of the episode when Rick is like, oh, so that's where my paranoia went. And then at the end of the episode, 30-year-old Rick is like, did he do this to me on purpose? Did he lock me in here as punishment?
Right.
And it's like, okay, so like he lost his paranoia, cool. But losing his paranoia, as we saw in the episode, also kind of made him lose his hypervigilance and awareness of his surroundings. So like, for example, he gets like super easily taken out because he's not as cognizant. Like the regular Rick with his full faculties intact is capable of, you know, outthinking every possible scenario, even without a death crystal attached to his noggin. So it was really interesting that he like got so easily as soon as he lost that like paranoia part of himself and lost that sense of like hyper awareness to his surroundings. So after that whole thing happened, I was just like, okay, is losing parts of themselves making them easier targets for Rick Prime? Because now they are not as whole as they once were. They are leaving pieces of themselves behind in different places, kind of scattered across the multiverse. And, you know, like, is that going to make it easier for Rick Prime, who is, you know, like the most hardcore, truest, most, you know, sociopathic Rick? Is that going to make it easier for him to chip away at the Smith-Sanchez family that we know because they're missing parts of themselves. That's my question. What do you guys think?
Oh
What do you guys
yeah,
think?
I hadn't thought about the missing pieces weakening them. I had thought of it more as like a Horcrux thing, where it's like they're leaving pieces of
Yeah.
themselves around the galaxy as like
And now they can't die.
right, exactly.
Honestly, that's a really fun idea. Like I would love to see like maybe like Rick Prime actually killing all of them, like all the family members, and then like someone being like, well, like we need the Sanchez family to exist for the universe to exist because they're constantly just like saving people. So like they just grab all those pieces, like, all right, let's grab Morty out of here, let's grab this person out of here, and like just make a new Sanchez family out for those pieces. That'd be so fun. I like that idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is cool.
well, Whitney, I certainly I think it does feel like through 2 episodes there's got to be like a looming threat. Like we haven't really had our like existential dread looming threat of this season yet.
Yeah.
So I certainly agree with that. I love this episode like you did. We did respond back and forth via text about this episode.
Yeah, we did.
Unlike your Loki theories, which I let marinate, this one I was like, I can talk back on this one. But my thought is this, guys, is there anywhere I can go on the internet to get more Rick and Morty information or breakdowns from either one of you by any chance? Is there anywhere else? If a person like me...
I think I know a good place. It's a place called Whitney Vision.
Yes.
Oh, you don't say. Yeah, no, that's a really good place to go. Maybe you guys should go there. My numbers are doing terrible right now. And listen, I just like numbies. I like my little numbies. I like seeing them. Please go watch my videos.
Listen,
please.
Forget about the algorithm. Jump into the Palgorithm and watch these damn videos.
Jump into the algorithm, baby.
Yes, just remember, once you're part of the Palaxy, a great way to support the Palaxy is to go to all of our companion YouTube channels, because we are united and strong, but we're also working on our own little side projects. We're all like the Rolling Stones, right? Like you're going to get a mixed solo album.
We are like the Rolling Stones.
You're going to get a Keith solo album. You're going to get a Ron Wood solo project, or like he's going to go raise a horse. That's me. I'm the Ron Wood. These two still make beautiful music on the internet. I go raise horses in Ireland and drink. There's a reference to a band of 80-year-olds I'm sure our fans love. I should talk sports after this. No, but yes, Whitney Vision is where I learned my Rick and Morty goodness, guys. And I got to be honest, I contribute to the Rick and Morty portion of the Palaxy because of the things that I learned from watching my friends make Rick and Morty videos. So I encourage all of you to do the same.
Yeah, watch MT's videos on heavy spoilers, baby. He's crushing it this season, breaking them down, getting them out at the speed of light. He's always the first one to drop a vid. Right. All the rest of us are like, how did you do it that fast? You're amazing. And the answer is he's working with people across the pond.
Paul is a magic man who has all the amazing resources. So yes, please check out Whitney Vision primarily.
Check out Heavy Spoilers.
Heavy Spoilers.
Check out both of them. They're both so cute and sweet.
And, for something completely different, check out Have a Drink with Me, my new YouTube channel.
Yes.
With our pilot episode launching this Thursday, a live stream. And don't worry, my Palaxy pals will be all over Have a Drink with Me. We're going to live stream every Thursday. We're going to play games. We're going to do watch-alongs. Dylan has to have surgery, my co-host Dylan, in December, so I'm just kicking him to the curb and bringing in a bunch of sub-hosts. So don't worry.
Oh, no.
Don't worry. It'll be me.
Spoiler alert, it'll be Whitney.
It'll be me and Tommy just splitting a 12-pack of Coors Light, as per usual.
And then splitting another 12-pack, so we could have just had our own 12-packs. But I know we just did a little promo, but I felt the inspiration of plugging after we talked Rick and Morty, a show that does not shy away from selling out, literally does in commercial. First they bring back the Szechuan sauce, then they stick a knife in McDonald's back and become completely sponsored by Wendy's. Brilliant.
Oh, absolutely. Brilliant. And the Wendy's commercials are a little horrifying, honestly. They kind of scare me.
They have to, and that is actually a great segue unintentionally.
That is a great segue. Didn't even think of that, but hell yeah.
Because we want to kind of land this Palaxy bird by talking, it's almost Halloween. And by the time this episode drops, it will be the night before Halloween, I believe, if this comes out on a Monday.
Ooh.
So Guys, Halloween is upon us, and there are the classic, the three amigos of terror: Jason Voorhees, Michael M. Myers, and Frederick J. Krueger. And everybody
Which
knows.
one of them is Chevy Chase?
I mean, who's worst? Freddy, I guess. Who's the biggest asshole in real
I
life?
guess.
Jason.
Yeah, who's
I
the
don't know.
biggest asshole IRL?
Michael Myers is probably Steve Martin because he's quieter than you'd expect. And then
Yeah. Oh, that's
I
true.
think Jason has always been Martin Short. He's great with the physical comedy. It's like he's
True.
I hope they make this movie. I want to see. This
actually.
movie now
Come
with
on,
those actors.
Freddy Krueger is Martin Short all the way. He's a little guy. He's definitely Martin Short.
He's got hands.
Yeah, he's got those wild hands. One with a glove of knives. Now, those things are intentionally scary. We're made to be afraid of those boys, and other iconic horror things. But I think one of the hallmarks of my childhood was I was so scared of things unintentionally scary.
Same.
There were certain.
I was a very anxious boy growing up.
Sometimes the most scary things are like in an episode of a sitcom or like a 1 hour drama or like even a comedy movie that just has. I think of Look Who's Talking, the movie Look Who's Talking. There's a point in that movie where they're trying to potty train, or maybe it's Problem Child. It's one of the two. They're trying to potty train the kid, and he hallucinates that the toilet is a demon that is screaming at him, and the toilet comes to life. And I just remember,
wow.
I was a little kid probably potty training when I saw Look Who's Talking, and I was like, there ain't no way I'm ever sitting on a toilet. There is no way in hell I'm ever sitting on a toilet.
Reason.
So my question for you guys are, we don't necessarily need to make a list, but can we brainstorm on some of the scariest, unintentionally scariest things in pop culture from our childhood or even today?
Yes, I can tell you what my number one fear is. I've already told you guys my second fear is mascots and animatronics. I was terrified of Chuck E. Cheese. I think I already said that a couple of episodes ago when we were talking about
Five Nights at Freddy's movie at least 2 times now, right?
I haven't seen it yet. I would love it now. I'm not afraid of Chuck E. Cheese anymore, thank God.
Oh, you're not?
But yeah. No,
because I've been begging you to go, and you keep saying, that's creepy, Tommy. I'm not going to Chuck E. Cheese with you.
Yeah. No, I love Chuck E. Cheese. Honestly, I would go. But just for the games, obviously.
He's an orphan.
He's an orphan. And not the show. No. Chuck E. Cheese is an orphan?
Yeah, Charles Entertainment Cheese. Yeah, read his backstory.
Damn, that's sad.
He's got a cursed backstory.
Shit, I didn't know that.
I'm shocked he hasn't come to life to kill.
Yeah, him and Pasquale could do some serious business. But no, my biggest number one fear as a child, and I literally didn't grow out of it until I learned that he wasn't real. I was fucking terrified of Santa Claus. Like the idea of a weird man coming into my house while I was sleeping. And my parents always used to do the thing like when I was a little kid, and I know that other people's parents did this too. Like I have friends whose parents did this. I don't know if y'all's did, but like one of the things that my mom would do is like as it got closer to Christmas, she would, if I was like, throwing a temper tantrum or freaking out at the mall or whatever, my mom would go, well, Whitney, remember Santa's watching, and if you're bad, he's gonna know.
Oh my God, why does he have to know?
Scared me. Yeah, that scared me so bad. I was like, he sees every time that I'm bad. This is horrible. And so whenever my mom wanted to like truly scare the shit out of me, no joke, like if I was being like a little tiny, 4-year-old monster for whatever reason, she would literally just go, you better watch out. You better not. And I would start sobbing and apologizing, and I would run to my room and I would literally write him a letter immediately apologizing for whatever I had just done. I was so scared of that guy. I was fucking terrified. I just wanted presents. I was like, what is he gonna like? I was like, I don't want to get Cole. If I get Cole, my life is over. I will be a social fucking pariah in preschool. I can't have that happen to me. Like, I was so
honestly
scared of Santa.
I don't blame you at all. Like, Santa Claus is a very creepy concept. Like, he has gifts, but like, it's really creepy.
Why is he coming into my house?
I think you guys just need some tough Buffalo, Rochester, New York upbringings, because I from a young age was like, invade my home, Santa. What do I care? Just as long as you leave as long as you leave Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles, you can watch me sleep all you want, you freak. I don't care.
Wait, so is the rule is breaking and entering is okay if you leave something behind?
That's right.
Like, I think that's
as
what
long as you don't take something, it's
I-
totally cool.
I still follow that rule, and I try to live by that rule. When I break into someone's house, I leave them a little something. I leave them a little something behind.
Oh, Tommy left a pumpkin beer in my fridge the other night. It was real
See?
sweet. I had it as a little midnight treat.
Oh.
So yeah, MT. We were laughing about your unintentionally scary thing. It brought back some.
Okay. So, okay. Technically, this was some like intentionally scary, quote unquote. But like, you guys remember Family Matters,
Oh,
the TV
yeah.
show?
Yeah.
It's a rare edition.
The Halloween specials
Yes.
for Family Matters always featured this little ventriloquist doll of Steve Urkel's.
Yes.
Was it called Stevel? I think it was called.
Yes.
Stevel. And he was like, he had a deep like scary monster voice, and he was like, "I want to kill you," blah 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 blah. But like, it's obviously meant to be funny because like it's a ventriloquist doll and like in a comedy, in a family comedy sitcom. But like that, I could not do it when I was a kid. I was like, "Yo, get me out of this.
Get me out of this episode.
I need to like not watch this because like it was just so creepy. Like I just can't do dolls. Like I don't like freaking creepy ass dolls. Like nah, you should be not moving by yourself.
No,
don't do that. Don't move by yourself, please.
It was that in obviously Goosebumps. Well, Goosebumps was meant to be scary, but like it was meant to be for kids as well. I could not do Goosebumps when I was a kid. I was like, absolutely not. I'm good with that. The power of Christ compels
MT
you.
hates it when dolls move on their own. That's why he was shaking in his boots during Barbie. He was like, no. He cried all through Barbie because he was so scared.
I didn't eat my popcorn salted because I was crying into my popcorn. The tears.
Why are they all moving? Why is that one surfing? No.
Didn't like it. Gave it 0 stars.
Why are those women doctors? No. That was the real
women are my fragile masculinity.
That was the real jump scare for me. Was when there was a woman president. I went, ah!
Oh no.
My heavens.
My goodness.
My stars and garters. No, I think those are both great ones. Mine, as I said, was the toilet. Also, runner-up, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the surgery scene, which is meant to be scary, but in a movie that's supposed to be so silly, and the character of Pee-wee Herman, where you're like, it's like this like man-child, and then he's like, he's having the bad dream that the dinosaur, they're up in the dinosaur starts walking around. All you guys know what I'm talking about. The music is like bam 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 bam.
I've actually never seen anything Pee-wee, honestly.
You haven't seen Pee-wee?
That I missed. Nah,
bro.
I missed all the Pee-wee.
Oh, you gotta.
That's okay.
I'm cranking up some Pee-wee as soon as this podcast is over. I'm just gonna blast it out of my speakers. Like, yes, Pee-wee.
Crank up that Pee-wee.
Please do.
So I think this is a good reminder, though, guys. Sometimes on Halloween, don't seek out the obvious choices. As I said, your Jasons, your Freds, your Mikes. Go look up some old TGIF. Put on an old episode of Teen Angel or Sabrina the Teenage Witch or Boy Meets World or Full House or Perfect Strangers or Step by Step.
Dress up as a toilet. Scare Tommy.
Yeah. Dress up as a toilet and bark at me and scare me into a round. No, come on. Happy Halloween, everybody. So, guys.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Where can they find us online for those that aren't going to be too scared, that want some Halloween views?
I want some Halloween choices. I am at Whitney Puppy everywhere, except for YouTube, where I'm at Whitney Vision.
I am at Mastertainment everywhere, and also I'm on Heavy Spoilers YouTube channel, so check that out.
Yeah.
And I'm at Tommy Bechtold everywhere, and check me out this Thursday at 7 p.m. for the premiere of Have a Drink With Me, going live on the Have a Drink With Me YouTube channel that should be somewhere around here. God, we love you. Thank you guys so much for joining us on another episode of Guardians of the Palaxy. And as we always say, guard your pals and pal around with your guards.
Yes.
Yeah. Bye.
I'm about to pal around with my guards right now. Bye, guys.
Bye.